go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another RSG stream. I'm Ranger J 1999. Welcome. This is our lunch stream where we discuss all the latest and greatest of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Star Wars in general, and everything. Joining me on this journey is, of course, part of the RSG crew. We've got Dr. Finn, Medicine Woman. Finn.
Howdy.
Yeah, that's your cue to
yeah,
I know you're not
have
used to talking.
So I was hearing you from there, and then I realized, oh crap, I'm listening to YouTube and not Skype. So
really?
I was muting my YouTube. It's Monday. It's Monday.
It's unacceptable, Finn. Try again. And
Hi,
then also,
everyone.
It's also joining us is the lightsaber builder extraordinaire himself, Sir Loki.
Hey, good morning, man. It's morning my time.
Oh yeah,
but,
what time is it there? Like 9?
It's 9 right now. Yeah.
My dear Lord in heaven.
I'm supposed to be working, but you know, can't get enough of the people. So
enough of the peeps.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm loading up the game as we speak. EMU player's being a little, it's being a little testy. She's giving me a little bit of problems and stuff. So today, I guess we'll get into the first thing is the Han Solo. Well, we got a couple announcements. First off, we had the Han Solo trailer drop, right? I don't know if you want to call it a teaser trailer. I don't know if it's a full-blown trailer because it didn't seem like it was a full-blown trailer. But
the one during the Super Bowl wasn't.
Yeah,
but then they did drop the full.
Yeah.
Oh, what I drop over here?
Does Loki have company?
God damn it! Crap dropping everywhere. And then
that's not me, man. That's Ranger. Come on.
That's Ranger. It sounded like somebody in the background. I thought somebody was in the conference room with you.
No, I dropped stuff over here. It's like, God damn it. All right. And then we also have an announcement from CG today at 2 p.m. Eastern. Has that been confirmed? We know that's confirmed.
It's another potential rumor. But be on the lookout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check the forums now because normally they say prepping for game update, right?
I don't know.
I was looking earlier and I didn't see anything, but this may not necessarily be a game update. It may just be like information that they're throwing out through the game changers.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
That's what the rumor was. So I'm kind of curious. Do you think it'll be a character? Do you think it'll be
Probably not a coincidence that the Han Solo movie trailer came out yesterday,
but
and
it's
now
not for months away. I don't know if they're gonna start dropping.
It is, but they sometimes start this stuff a little bit early.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of curious of what it could be, but you know, as I said, I don't know what it's going to be.
It's they're going to announce the release of Revan Ranger.
Yeah, right. We can already tell that ain't happening.
Hey, again, it would still fit in with the statement that they gave to the game changers. Just throwing that out there.
For people that don't know what you're talking about, explain how that works, because you always confuse people with that.
There was always this rumor about Revan. So little history lesson here, not going too much into detail, but there was the rumor about Revan floating around because everyone wants Revan. Then Cozy Spoon made a post basically just putting a meme. Everyone thought that meant that Revan was coming. Then they decided to put out a statement through the game changers that said that it wasn't going to be Revan. But the statement says that the game changers are going to the EA facilities at the end of February and in order to see a new game update. And that game update is not going to be Revan. But that refers to the game update they're going to see at the end of February. We are currently at the beginning of February. Mm-hmm. So they didn't say there's no Revan in February. They just said the game update that they are going to be looking at is not Revan. So,
right.
So throwing that out there, a loophole still remains for the possibility of Revan. And now all of a sudden there's an announcement coming from the game changers, and they like to troll Ranger. So
yes, they do. It's like I'm that person to mess with. You know, I don't like it.
They're gonna
Embrace
send
it,
you
Ranger.
Valentine's Day gifts, Ranger. That's what they're gonna do.
Be a Padme. Ranger, you're breaking my heart. That's right, I am Padme. I can't be with you anymore.
I was thinking that too. Like there was the rumor about the potential downfall journey of Vader. It's like the hero, like the villain's downfall, the equivalent of like the hero's journey and whatnot. And Valentine's Day is coming up, and the rumor said that there was going to be a new Padme. So it's possible that next week there's a Padme coming out that would fit in line with the general timeline, plus potential game information coming out through the Game Changer. So it might be information on a Padme. So just throwing that out there. We're just speculating. It's lunchtime. We're hungry. Keyboard is definitely hungry.
Keyboard's always hungry.
Yeah.
Like, you could give her a full course meal and she would still be hungry. Her metabolism must... I mean, you're a doctor, Finn. What's going on with Keyboard?
And apparently she eats a lot, so it's hard for me to say. She says she eats a lot.
Yeah.
She's always hungry. And then she sleeps. But she doesn't sleep well.
Right.
I don't know.
Keyboard, we don't know what to do. You're going to have to... I mean, Finn, there's only so much we can do, you know? So we got that announcement. Han Solo, of course, they showed the trailers out. I don't know, Finn, what did you think of the trailer?
The trailer during the Super Bowl was, it was okay. In general, I didn't like a lot of the movie trailers during the Super Bowl. I like more of like the food commercials and those kind of things. The movie commercials never really fit for me during the Super Bowl. So I wasn't necessarily a fan of the whole concept of a movie commercial during the Super Bowl. Nothing specific with the Han Solo movie. Then I did see the full trailer. It actually looks pretty cool. There's only two kind of issues that I have with it. One of which is if you follow stuff in general with the Star Wars universe, you know kind of the chaos that's been going on in the back with the Han Solo movie. And so that, I will admittedly say, kind of taints my view of the Han Solo movie. Not necessarily that it isn't going to be good, but we know there's been so many issues with the directors and the actors and all that kind of stuff, right? So that just has me worried in general about the movie. The other thing is, if you compare, for example, the middle trilogy with the early trilogy, Anakin's like little character as well as his teenage emo character were all introduced kind of in that same trilogy, one after another. Han Solo, we've already grown to love at this point. He was in the middle trilogy. He died in this new trilogy. Like, Han Solo is a part of Star Wars with so many people. It's hard for me to see even anyone besides Harrison Ford as a Han Solo, even a young Han Solo. It's hard to picture that just because of how ingrained he is in Star Wars in general. So it's just hard for me to see a young Han Solo. That's pretty much it. But the trailer itself looked good. I'm definitely going to see the movie. It looks pretty awesome. I like the clean Millennium Falcon. So
I know. It was like, oh, it's so clean.
Yeah. What about Mr. Loki?
Yeah, Sir Loki.
I agree. I liked it. The one on Star Wars YouTube channel, so the full one, definitely showed a lot more than the Super Bowl one. So the Super Bowl one was really, that was a teaser to me. I mean, super teaser right there. And then if you watch the full one, then it obviously shows more characters and a little more scenes here and there, and some of the vehicles and ships and all that. So overall, I'm excited. I think we need a little change of pace from Last Jedi, whereas like Last Jedi was a little bit slower, whereas this thing looks fast paced, which I'm excited about.
Just that last shot of Han and Chewie. It's like Chewie were famous movies. I was like, hey, how about that? How about now? Okay, so is there any questions in the chat we can get to? I'm doing the
we've had a few questions.
doing the Akbar event, so that'll be good. What do we got, Doodle?
So Corey Dahlmeyer wants to know, is the Acolyte, Zombie, Mother Talzin, Asajj Ventress, and Old Daka combo the best Night Sister team?
I'll let you take that one, Finn.
It depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about Arena, no. With Arena, you're better off with somebody besides Acolyte in that 5th position. Kenobi. So I've seen a few different ones. I still think Kenobi is probably the best one. I've seen Kylo Ren Unmasked. I've seen Barriss. I've seen R2. I have seen Old Ben in that position, which is a little weird. I've seen Thrawn in that position. Again, a little bit weird to have that in that position, but I think Kenobi is the best in the 5th. Now, if you're talking about territory wars, then I would say yes, because that team encapsulates just Night Sisters, doesn't cannibalize any other team that you may use, but that is under the assumption that you have a General Kenobi with a Zeta Barriss to use. If you have Kenobi, you don't have Barriss, then you could potentially put a Kenobi into that team because you're not really cannibalizing anything. So it depends on your roster. Overall, if you have like everything, I tend to like Acolyte in there so you don't cannibalize other teams.
There you go.
Do you disagree, Loki, as somebody that does have pretty much every character?
Yeah, I mean, you have everything, Loki, so you should be able to answer every question possible.
Oh, it's no. I mean, you don't need every character to figure this one out. I mean, I think it's Ventress lead all the way. That's just my opinion. I agree. GK was probably the better 5th. I don't think a full Night Sister team's that great. I think you need the hybrid 5th. GK helps against troopers because he puts crit immunity on all the Night Sisters. The Snow Trooper can't cut through your stuff, so that helps tremendously. Zeta Barriss helps against CLS teams because then Han Solo, every time he drills your Night Sisters, and he heals them up. So it just depends how it is. Territory Wars, it's a toss-up. If you throw I like to put Night Sisters in the back, and if you put them in the back, the other guild is depleted. So I think the Ventress lead with Zeta Barriss works the best in the back. Just my opinion.
And Loki would know because that's science. All right. Any other questions, Finn?
Yes. So we have a question from King Castern, who says, question, I don't have Rolo yet, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, but no one seems to talk about her ever. So does she suck?
Oh, boy. I mean, you need her, like, I don't know. I've got her gear 8, 7 stars, just for that one mission. But I don't use it for anything else. So, I don't know. I mean, she's okay. I think Captain Solo's a really good character. I don't think Leia's that. She's okay, but she's not great. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
She's good for light side territory battle.
I know. You don't really use her anywhere else. What is yours?
Her kit is limited. There's better rebel leaders. Yeah, you just need her for light side.
I mean, what can you say? It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good, guys. But yeah, get her gear 8. It's 7 stars, and for that one mission, your other tunes are what's going to make that team rock and roll. So you'd be fine. You'd be just fine.
Next question from Corey Dahlmeyer. Should I put a bayonet on Snow Trooper?
Oh yes. As long as you have the bayonet on Han first.
Yeah, I did a bayonet on Snow Trooper, so you can solo P4 with troopers.
I mean, once you get troopers really geared and going, I mean they're super duper.
They're the best Empire. They're the best Empire team right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go for it. Because you can use them. You can use them in a lot of places.
All right. Next question from Corey Dahlmeyer. Can I solo phase 1? I think he's talking about Heroic AAT with a Dachka lead, Commander Luke, and a Han Solo with a Zeta on Han Solo. He only got through 30%, so he threw in a Zetas. But with those 3, could he solo potentially phase 1?
So what was it was Dachka? Who else?
Dachka lead with Commander Luke Skywalker and OG Han.
No other characters?
No. He didn't list any. He said he only got 30%, so he tried throwing in a Zeras. But he was asking about those 3, it looks like.
Commander Luke, Dachka, OG Han. I don't see it. I mean,
I've seen something get close like that.
yeah,
but I don't.
I've never heard of anything like that being used to clear phase 1. I mean, yeah, you can do really good damage.
Yeah, just the 3, right? It's just the trio.
Yeah,
you can do it.
You think so?
You can solo it, but you need luck with the turn meter removal on Dachka lead, right?
Well, the thing is about Dacha is when he attacks, then he calls the other rebels to assist. So you get the double, triple, whatever from Han Solo, and
just say the triple mollywop.
You just need the RNG. So when either Luke or Han Solo hits General Grievous, then it kicks off his 7th hit, but then it reduces turn meter, right? That's all you really need. And then it's a double turn meter reduction. So yeah, it's I think Nukin did a video on it, but yeah, it's possible you can do it. But you do need the Zeta on Han. So he says he's got the Zeta on Han, so you can do it.
Yeah. Okay. King Castern, his question is, we had a hero journey for 2 movies now. Would it be possible for a Kenobi hero's journey where you kill Maul and become a master and we get a new Kenobi?
I don't see that. I mean, it's a cool idea, but I don't think they're going to do anything like that.
What would be the new Kenobi, though? Like, not so old Ben? Or what? Rebels old Ben?
I wonder if he's talking about not so old Ben. Do you know him, sir? Yeah, he's the not so old hermit who lives in the Dune Sea.
I mean, let's think of this, right? If they release Padme, right, that'll be our first, one of the first, like, I guess. Well, no, Anakin's the prequel character, right? I'm just thinking, could they release? Oh, I guess they could release Padawan Obi-Wan, right? Like with Qui-Gon or something.
But then you already have General Kenobi from Heroic AAT, right? So what is the end game of that journey? To go with your original question.
Not so old Ben. That's what is it? That's the one from Rebels, right? Where he fights them all. So you either got that one or you got Padawan Kenobi. That's it. Those are the last 2 picks.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I see them doing something with Vader first before they do anything with Kenobi. And unfortunately,
you're breaking my heart.
Unfortunately, there may be a Han journey coming. I think that might kill me if they make the 5th Han for our faction, for our 5 Han faction, a hero's journey for another Han, and you need the other 4 in order to do it. That'd be so bad. I really.
We might have 3 Chewbacca's though.
That's true.
Finally get a Rebels Chewbacca.
And none of them will fly a Millennium Falcon.
No.
Okay. Pedro Khan, I'm thinking about going all out for Phoenix Gear 12 and all the Zetas. Do you think they will be a good defensive team for Territory War and Arena?
Oh, yeah. He said all the Zetas for Phoenix and stuff?
Oh, he said he's thinking about going all out for Phoenix.
On defense, Zetas, they're a pain in the ass to deal with, man. Holy moly.
In TW, I don't find them... I thought there was one on my
Nerf Herders did a video. I mean, a fully maxed out Zeta Phoenix can take out anything.
On offense.
And defense, but think about it. On defense, with all those Zetas flying around, that is a pain in the ass to deal with. Holy moly.
But the AI is so stupid.
It doesn't matter because they're just running around beating the snot out of you.
Yeah, but now you have
but they're
Jedi
getting, they're
Ray.
getting their health and they're getting their protection, and I mean they're
not with
countering.
Jedi Ray. You don't.
What do you mean?
Jedi Ray puts the healing immunity, and you basically can take out any character you want.
Well, yeah, Jedi Ray, but I mean...
Well, I mean, that's what you'd be looking for, right? For Arena. Like, Territory War...
But are you going to use a Jedi Ray on a... Say you keep your... I mean, there's only so many places you can use Jedi Ray, and if they've got CLS walls and Jedi Training Ray walls, you know, I mean...
Well, that's why I agree with you for Territory War. He also asked about Arena.
Arena? Oh, no. Arena? No. I mean, you can take out any team, but I don't know it'll hold on defense. As you know, but again, not much anything else can hold on defense. So yeah. I mean, the only team that I've seen somewhat consistently has been the old Ben Kenobi Jedi Training Ray team, just because you know one slip of RNG and there's like, well, I lost that one.
Yeah, and Phoenix works on offense in Arena too. Like they can take out Night Sisters pretty well. Because they just recover health and protection and whatnot, so they can kill Night Sisters. It's just they're really heavy in gear.
Yeah, that's a buttload of Carbantes.
Heavy in Zetas. I mean, they're not any heavier in Zetas than Night Sisters, so I'm not trying to say they're overly heavy, but I would say Night Sisters are also heavy Zetas in order to get working well.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so. I mean, I think it would be an investment that would be worthwhile as long as Arena isn't your sole focus.
Right.
If you're looking for Territory War and something to help you rise in Arena against Night Sisters because you're having issues and you don't want to work on Imperial Troopers, then Phoenix might be a good solution.
So you should work on Imperial Troopers because you're going to need them for Darkside Territory battles, you know? I mean...
Which leads us into our next question.
Oh.
From Keyboard.
Oh, is it a food question?
No, it's actually a Star Wars question.
Oh.
And we can give her our food advice as well. But her question is, Zeta Veers or Zeta Finn?
Finn first.
No change because of the recent change in Resistance?
No, because, I mean...
Most people don't have Jedi Ray anyways. But.
Right, so if you definitely don't have Jedi Training Ray, do Zeta Finn. He is an amazing Zeta. And he really, I mean, you could be gear 8 on all your resistance and go into phase 6 of territory battles, light side, and that's an automatic 6 for 6. But if you did go Zeta Veers, that's not a bad Zeta. I've got the Zeta on him, and it really does make a huge difference with the trooper team. I just lean toward Finn still because I think, you know, especially if you don't have a Jedi Training Ray for Resistance team, that really makes that team just go. I mean, it's the only way to make it go, but I mean, bang for the buck, I'd say Finn. I mean, I don't know if Loki agrees or disagrees, or if you agree or disagree, but
no, I agree. I go Finn first.
Yeah.
So going to another question, Thane Kyrell asked something, which I think is a valid question about the fact that Dachka CLS Han Solo team has been used for a while and how we didn't know about it. So I don't know if you guys feel different. For me, I have zero interest in trying to get crazy amounts of numbers on Heroic AAT. The characters that are utilized there are so minimally used for my roster that trying to focus on getting more damage in Heroic AAT would set my entire roster back versus getting more characters. So our guild does Heroic AAT. I can do plenty of damage in there. I don't need to see like a full solo. So me personally, I have zero interest in trying to get crazy numbers on different phases because I don't want to work on Dachka. I don't want to work on a lot of the characters that you need in order to do these things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that phase. I'm still trying to, I mean, it's just credits, but it's like, I'm trying to get the teams, my priority is territory wars and territory battles. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm trying to get set lineups of characters geared now. It's all about the Carbante for me. Because it's so many damn Corbantes, Finn, I swear. I get 50, they're gone. I feel like I know South Park is like, I read that'll be 100 Carbantes, Ranger, and they're gone. What do you mean? Ender's gone. Okay.
I mean, let's ask Loki, because Loki is at a different point than we are in the game, right? Because we're still working on characters and whatnot, even some basic ones, because there's only so much gear we can get and all that kind of stuff. So, Loki, from your perspective, do you think it's worth it for anyone to go out of their way in order to try and get like more damage in heroic AAT, assuming they're in a guild that can do heroic AAT, versus just trying to build up other characters in their roster that may not give like heroic AAT? So Dachka is probably a good example with that.
Right. Well, I mean, you don't really need Dacha like maxed out, right? You just needed 7 stars and was it the leader at 7, I guess. So at this point for me, I just like the teams I use in heroic AAT are all auto teams. So I don't really play it anymore, and it's because my guild just free-for-alls it and it's gone in like 20-30 minutes, right?
And it's gone.
So yeah. So here's the thing, right, is you can get hung up in phase 1 doing your solo and you'll get 4 mil, right? But then while you're still in phase 1, the tank itself, the whole heroic AAT could be in phase 3 already. So everybody's racing to get damage. Unless your guild allows you to preload the damage and you guys got some arrangement where you release damage at a certain time, right? But for me, I can't afford to solo it because I have to get into phase 2 and I can throw, you know, my resistance team, or I can throw my crew for first order team and get like 2 million a piece with them, right? And then I enter phase 3 and I just auto it with the Akbar Han Solo CLS team, right? So if you're gonna solo phase 1, you'll only get 4 mil, and you still have to pull CLS and Han Solo out if you plan to continue the rest of the raid. So that's my thoughts on that. Is the team that you want that you can use in phase 1, you might have to use them in different phases. So you got to rely on RNG to retreat. If you don't retreat them, then you're stuck with only 4 mil. So that's something to think about.
Right. Okay. Let's go to next question from Alibaba and the 40 Rebels. So, who would you give your bayonet to first, Snow Trooper or Death Trooper?
Snow Trooper for me.
Snow Trooper for sure.
I would go Snow Trooper as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. From An Entire Lifetime. So his question is, Zeta Mother Talzin, Asajj Ventress, or Kylo Ren Unmasked? I have all the other important Zetas like Han, BB-8, R2, etc. So he wants to know Mother Talzin Zeta, Ventress Zeta, or Kylo Ren Unmasked. I'm also not sure if he's talking about uniques or lead.
Well, let's just assume lead, right? Depends on which team you're working for. If you want to do a first order team, then you want to do Kylo Ren Unmasked. If you're going to work on Night Sisters, then you can pick one. You can go Asajj or you can go Mother Talzin. I mean, it's all dependent on what you're working on. You know, I mean, it doesn't make sense to put one on Asajj if you're not doing anything with Night Sisters just to get rid of it. I mean, I personally am working on the first order team. I should be 7-star my Kylo Ren tomorrow, hopefully with luck. And then the next 2 Zetas are going on him because I just think that makes the first order team is pretty amazing once you get gear and the Zetas on him. But then again, Night Sisters are pretty dope too. So, I mean, what do you think, Finn?
Yeah, I agree. I like the Kylo Ren Unmasked lead, but you need your first orders kind of built up for it.
Yeah, you gotta get them built up.
And then Mother Talzin versus Asajj Ventress, both are good leads. Just depends which one you want to use and in what. They all kind of have their little situations. So it's really dependent upon what you want. I'm okay with any of them because they're all good. Let's see. Keyboard, what Zeta do you regret the most?
regret the most? Well, I mean, there are.
I can say I don't have any that I regret.
I don't have any that I regret. That I have some that I'm like, I wish I could do more with. You know, like getting the first order team, because I have a Xylo, which will be nice to have him in there. I just don't use him that much. Same thing with Zeta Vader. I don't use Vader for anything hardly. You know,
but you did at the time, right?
Yeah, so that's why I don't regret it. I guess that's what I'm saying is I don't have regrets that I put it on. I have regrets that it's just kind of I'm not using it, you know, because it's just not really anywhere solid to use them at. You know, there's days like that. Now, you know, at first I regretted that I did one on Cassie, and then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I said I did one on Jen. Oh, Rogue One Team is pretty pimp, you know. So I'm like, I'm glad I did that. But yeah, nothing. It's more about not usage. But I mean, I haven't done one by accident. It was like, oh no.
What about you, Loki? Because I think you have more Zetas applied.
Yeah,
than
you have
we
them all
do.
done now, don't you?
Almost.
Jeez, I hate you.
So any of them that you regret putting your Zeta?
Yeah,
on?
I regret Cody Lead. I regret.
Oh, that's a good one.
Luminara. I regret.
Oh.
Nyla Lead. It's pretty bad still. I'm looking at them as we're talking about it. I did regret Boba Fett for a while, and then Dark Side Territory Battles came, and I love it now. So.
Oh yeah, he saved your butt.
He's like the best. He's up there for me with like Veers, because I've done that bounty hunter mission where it's like 1v5 and Boba Fett just kills them all. So it's a good Zeta now. That's about it. I mean, the Luminara and the Cody one are pretty bad. Darth Nihilus Lead is pretty bad. I think I used it for about a week, and I said, man, this thing sucks. So
Yeah, it did not pan out the way you thought it was going to.
yeah, it sounded good. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I still remember it was the GK Barris meta, and everyone thought, oh, you're not going to be able to crit. All the damage is being converted into like straight damage. You're going to be able to like slaughter those teams, and it didn't work.
So here's what's fun, right? This is what I've noticed. I mean, this is like dated back to February, right? Last year, is I think when the protection goes away, they lose like armor or something, because man, they get super squishy with just health for some reason. You know, I don't know if that's working as intended. It's always been like that, but I swear my Nihilist with, you know, let's say he's got 50,000 protection, like is super tankier than my Nihilist with 50,000 protection converted to health. That's just me. Or the way the game is it the damage dealt to health is a lot, you know, there's the multiplier is higher than damage dealt to protection, I guess, if that makes sense. But he gets super squishy, man. I mean, it's just it's unreal. And I don't know if it's ever been working as intended, but you know. But those would be my top three. So it'd be Luminara, Cody, and probably Darth Nihilus Lead at this point.
All right. Let's see. Next question is from Keyboard. So if you could feed her anything, what would you feed her?
Those are giant hamburgers. Just keep shoving them down until she's hungry. She's not hungry anymore.
Loki, what about you? What would you feed Keyboard?
I don't know. Pretzels.
Oh,
pretzels.
There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna win this argument.
Not pretzels, but like baked, like the real stuff, right? The German pretzels, right? The big ones.
Yeah.
With like mustard and stuff, like.
Those are good.
Baked. Yeah.
I think I'll win this argument. I'm gonna feed her haggis and Iron Brew because I know she's
you know.
Yeah. She's a very simple lass. You give her the stuff that she likes.
That's true.
Let's see. What other questions do we have? King Castern wants to know, are we getting the Donald Glover Lando?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
There's a lot of cool characters in that Han Solo movie.
Yeah, probably.
There's the
yellow shirt Lando.
Yellow shirt Lando. There's also Khaleesi. That's the second Game of Thrones character that I can remember in Star Wars now. So we have Captain Phasma with Brienne Tarth, and now we have Khaleesi coming in as Kira.
Mm-hmm. And what's her real name, Finn? Because she's not called
Amelia
Khaleesi.
Clark.
That's right.
And the cool one is the one that people think is the Tusken Shaman. It looks like one of the guys from like the Predator movies.
Look like a bounty hunter to me.
Yeah, I mean, but he looks like one of the guys from the Predator movie. Some people think it's like a spawn between like a Predator and a Tusken Shaman. It's a really cool looking character, but so it'll be interesting to see what exactly that character is. There was a monkey that people confused for Maz, which was pretty funny. Maz would be a cool character to get into the game, I have to say. Trying to think what else. I think we're probably going to get a lot of characters. Now, here's the unfortunate part. If all of these are going to be light side characters, right? The new Han is going to be light side. Lando is going to be light side. Chewie is going to be light side. It's possible Kira somehow turns and becomes dark side maybe by the end of the movie, and her character won't be released until after the movie release and comes into the game as like a dark side character. She's the only one I can see because we recognize the other three in Lando, Han, and Chewie. Then you do have like the bounty hunter dude that can potentially be dark side. I worry that we're going more light side heavy because it's a Han Solo movie. I don't want more light side. We need more dark side.
I know. We need a lot more dark side. It's ridiculous. But, alas, no.
What do you think, Loki, about the potential of the new characters coming in?
I'm excited. I hope they release. I hope they release Chewbacca as a rebel finally. I'm excited about the Lando. I mean, maybe we'll get a new Millennium Falcon. You know, and I don't know. I don't even know what episode you would call it, but you know, hopefully we get a rebel tag Millennium Falcon that actually works with Akbar's ship. I think that would be kind of cool. You know, do you need all three of them? So do you need like young Han Solo and young Lando and young Chewie, I guess? I don't know. I hope they release more bounty hunters because I think you're right that there's obviously some connection with bounty hunters. You know, we were talking about it earlier during the stream. I hope they release like, you know, one of the planets they mentioned was that I heard was Kessel. So I mean, if they're gonna do the Kessel run and there's gonna be like Kessel guards and stuff like that. If you go to Amazon.com right now, I think you can look at the new toys. So just like Last Jedi, they released the merchandise before the movie. So that's a good indication of what's probably coming.
Is there any Porg-related kind of characters in this movie coming up? Because I just want to know ahead of time.
There is. There is that monkey that people confuse for Maz.
A monkey?
Yeah, they're the funky little cute Disney characters in the movie. So
it was a monkey piloting a ship, and people thought it was Maz.
Monkey.
Yeah, it was a monkey that was piloting a ship, and people thought it was Maz until they zoomed in and saw it was a little monkey.
Loki, Disney hates us.
They love me.
I know. That's why I'm saying they hate us.
You gotta come out with the little cutie characters because then you can charge $5 for them and people will buy them up.
Yeah, like who am I thinking of? Oh yeah, Finn. Finn keeps Disney in the black. I mean, let's be real. It's retarded.
I really want Jabba the Hutt, or some. I'd want something from Jabba's palace because you know that thing's gonna pop up in the movie. I heard rumors the last scene is gonna be they walk in the Mos Eisley Cantina. I think that would be cool because again, that was a scene in episode 4 where there's a lot of bounty hunters there. So again, going back to the speculation that they're gonna release a bunch of bounty hunters would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Let's see. Octave Connections asks, is everyone having a good lunch so far? So what are you guys all eating for lunch? Ranger?
I'm not eating lunch, man.
Yeah. He's in breakfast mode, man.
That's right. What will you eat for lunch?
Stream, then it is lunch.
Ranger
haven't
not eating anything.
Area, but
I'm starting my
your fast rotation again.
Yeah. Let's just doing a 10-day smoothie juice fast thingy.
So I am having leftovers from yesterday's Super Bowl stuff. So I have pizza and fried pickles that I.
Oh well, that sounds healthy. It's
delicious. I don't really care. And bottle of Coke. So I made sure I didn't get a lot of bottles of Coke. I get like the small, like little 12-ounce bottles. They were on sale anyways. But I only got like one set. That way, after they're done, I'm not going to get any more. So control myself with all that.
Right.
It is my gluttony days. The Super Bowl and Thanksgiving. Those are like my 2 gluttony days. So I get to be good now the rest of the year until Thanksgiving. That's my way of handling my inner fat kid. So. We have a pact. Corey Dahlmeyer, question, what are y'all doing to prep for this month? Staying on target, hoarding gear, farming, all that.
Staying on target.
So I had a theory that I mentioned on one of the streams that I think there is going to be a capital ship related to Haldo coming out. So I am working on First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter from the Guild store in particular. That's like one of my main focuses, as well as finishing off Stark, who I think is 10 shards away now from getting 7-starred. So I am focusing on that. I am focusing on getting all of the First Order ships from the hard nodes. They're just about to be 6-star, Kylo Ren's command shuttle. And also getting the silencer from the Cantina node. So that's one thing I'm definitely focusing on. And because it looks like there's a Sith rework, I am working on my Sith assassin, and gearing her up. And as soon as she's done, and the crew is done from his Cantina node with the ship, I am going to be farming speed mods for her. So that is my focus. Loki, what are you focusing on in prep for the upcoming month?
I mean, in general, I just unlocked Hermit Yoda yesterday, so
congrats.
I was pretty happy with that. I had all the gear for Gear 11, so I got him to Gear 11. First Order Special Forces, I got him at 6-star, so I'm just slowly farming that guy. And then the 2 ships, Kylo's ship and Special Forces TIE Fighter. I did Holdo and Rose. I got him to Gear 11 on both of them, but they're both 4-star. I really like them behind a Zeta Finn team. And then it allows me to use Jedi Training Ray on defense in like Territory Wars or whatever, and then I can still use Zeta Finn with Holdo and Rose. I think it works really well.
Mm-hmm.
In preparation for Sith rework, I think I'm okay right now. I just gotta maybe get my my Sith Trooper up to like Gear 12. I don't know if it's really even needed. I think that's about it. I'm working on unlocking Wampa now, but I'm not really, I'm not gonna really panic until it drops, and then, I'll worry about it then. But I'm not gonna worry about stuff that hasn't happened yet.
All right. Next question from Jay Swizzy Swole. So, should I take Boba Fett's ship to Gear 12? So I'm assuming Boba Fett himself to Gear 12 for his ship. I have TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, and Thrawn already Gear 12, and I have Vader one piece from Gear 12. Who else should I Gear 12 for pilots? And Ranger, can we see your ships and your roster?
Yeah. Let's see. So you can see these are all my ships. Currently, let's see. I'm working on getting Poe to 7 stars. Let's see. Working on getting on Rex to 7 stars. Of course, you got the TIE Silencer that's I'm working on. I got just a couple more for Plo Koon. He'll be 7 stars. And his ship will be done. I just started working. I've been working on the TIE Reaper, but it's like makes me want to give up. And I'm working on collecting Millennium Falcon shards, but you know, I mean, of course, Geonosian Spy, Gauntlet Fighter. I was working on First Order, but I'm putting that a little bit on the back burner. So I've only got a few more ships that I just have to be, you know, to work on. Everybody else is 7 stars already. And then I just did a match. You can go back and look and see what I'm using as my lineup. It's Biggs with First Order TIE Pilot, TIE Fighter Pilot, Vader ship, and then I use Cassian's Ewing. And my starting lineup and my reinforcements is first one is Scimitar, Boba Fett, and then Ghost and Phantom for right now. I'll probably mess around with that just here in a little bit once I get some more ships done. I haven't really played around with my lineup in a while, so that's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah, and as for the Gear 12 stuff, I didn't see Biggs on the list.
I did say Biggs.
No. I mean, on his list.
Okay.
You said it, and it's not on his list. So yeah, I think getting the tank up would be the right way.
Yeah, it's not a bad move.
And yeah, Boba is definitely not a bad one, especially with Dark Side.
No, he's a good reinforcement. I mean, some people using them in their starting lineup, you know. So,
and his character is good too, right? You don't want to necessarily get Gear 12 only for ships if it's a character that has multiple purposes.
Right.
Right. Ceodoc asks, I say this because if ship hardware finally comes in with a lot of different ships, do you think that the ship hardware would cost fleet currency?
No idea how they would do that. Do you think it would cost fleet currency, or do you think they'd do something else, Finn?
Something else.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that would be.
If you go to your cantina area in your game, and you go all the way to the left, there is still an empty box area next to the mod store. I think they would introduce a new currency, and you'd be able to buy your hardware from there. That's my guess. It'd be like a little hardware store. So they've had that one sitting in like a holographic form all the way on the left, to the left of the mod store underneath the guild area. So that's my guess. Because you don't want to have to decide between ship hardware and Zetas when Zetas are already rare in this game. I think that would kind of kill people. So
word.
Let's see. I have more questions.
I'm sure we can.
Okay, I'll give this to Loki. So, Loki, the question is from Nathaniel Miller. Which 3PO do you hope we'll get in the game? He wants a battle droid 3PO from episode 2.
Did he actually go to battle in episode 2?
Well, kinda. They're different 3POs, right?
You want like no flesh 3PO?
No flesh 3PO. No flesh 3PO. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I would want a shoot. I don't even think it matters, man. Honestly, I mean he's pretty much the same character.
Red Arms.
Question. I would love. It's gonna sound silly, man, but I want like a journey character with this guy where you collect his pieces and then you assemble them, right? You know, something to that effect. I mean, he's got to be a legendary. If they made R2 a legendary, I mean, he's got to be some kind of legendary.
I don't think so. I think he'll. No.
I would love for him to have he'd be like an auto taunter, and then at the same time, you know, while maybe R2's active or something, then the guy can't get hit or something, right? Because he seems to always get in the way in the movies, and then he'll just walk around and he'll never get blasted or hit or something, right? So, I'm cool with the episode 2 one, I guess. But there was a Disney game. It was called Salt Team back in the day, before Galaxy of Heroes, and the C-3PO kit in that game was actually really good. He was probably one of the best characters in that game, and it was a turn-based game just like Galaxy of Heroes. It was made by Disney. It got killed right before EA released Galaxy of Heroes, so I played that game a lot. And the kit in that game, actually, there's several kits in that game that made their way into Galaxy of Heroes, coincidentally. So, his kit in that game was really good. If you have Android, you can probably download a hacked APK to play that game. It's called Star Wars Assault Team, I think is what it was called. It was pretty cool. But yeah, his kit had a taunt. He had while he had taunt, he couldn't get hit, and he was just a really big disruptive support droid. That was just there, and then the rest of your team could attack. So I could totally see them doing a character kit like that for Galaxy of Heroes.
Hey, we got a new sponsor. Kitsch just became a sponsor. Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
Get his info there, Finadoodle, and we can.
I will get it. I'm pretty sure I've seen him on our Discord. Yeah, he's on our Discord, so I'll set him up as soon as we're done here with VIP access. Next question, Darth Hideous asks me, am I going to farm Rose and Hodor when they go free to play? Short answer is yes. How quickly, I don't know. I'm trying to get all of my characters to 7-star, so as soon as they get into free to play, I'll definitely be farming them. They do work on a resistance team. I don't like the fact that they don't have an expose. They make it they work better to me on a Finn team than they do a Jedi Ray team. So they're going to be on my Finn team. It's just they don't have an expose, so I have to kind of play around with it to see how I want to use them. Because if Poe doesn't do an AoE expose on a lot of targets, you kind of lose a lot on that team, because then you're reliant on Resistance Trooper in order to get his chance with his basic to expose. So I may only use Rose and not Haldo, and put in Resistance Pilot. I have to play around with it a little bit. Sadly, I have to say I'm probably going to farm Rose before Haldo, unless Haldo gets a capital ship. So I find more use with Rose and Haldo, and it kills me inside because I hate her character in the movie. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I say, yeah.
Just so stupid. Okay. Todd Mayotti asks, when do you think we will start to see this month's content?
Maybe today when they announce it?
Later today, right?
Yeah, all right.
So,
the big announcement,
interestingly enough, there was that post that said that there's Game Changer stuff coming in at 2 p.m. Cubs fan Han is on our Discord. Cubs fan Han says he saw the post about all the new content coming, and he was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Somebody asked him if he was doing an announcement. Then he said that he wouldn't be announcing that there's an announcement coming. So I have no idea whether or not there is or isn't something coming. Cubs fan Han is being coy about it in our Discord.
Well, it's not like they're going to tell you. I mean,
yeah, I know.
It's like you ask them or us, It's like if we knew something, we can't say anything until it's announced, and even then we can barely say stuff. So don't even ask.
You can ask. We're not going to give you an answer.
Yeah.
But we know nothing. We get no information.
Yeah, we know nothing. Yeah, so that's the correct answer.
Let's see. From an entire lifetime, which team do you think works better? Rey Jedi training with BB-8, R2 with Chopper and Kenobi, or with Old Ben and Kenobi?
Old Ben and Kenobi.
I know, Loki, you were playing around with Chopper, right?
For Jedi training Rey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He taunts. He's got a really high evasion rate when he taunts. He's got the Dispel. He's got synergy with the other droids, so yeah, he's definitely a good alternative. He's a good piece for Jedi training Rey with the two with BB-8 and R2. Yeah, I definitely run him.
Do you think Chopper is better than Old Ben in that team if you have Kenobi as your first taunter?
It's different. I mean, so here's the thing, right? Is the reason why Old Ben is so good in that team is because if R2 or if, in this case, Chopper get hit, Old Ben gains a lot of turn meter, right? Because it's every, if any Rebel or Jedi ally gets damaged, then he gets like, what is it, 10% turn meter or 5% turn meter or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So either one of them works. I mean, I would actually go Chopper over GK if you were going to try it, because if you're because Chopper never gets hit, man. I don't know if you've ever fought one, but his evasion rate is super high. So he's got a taunt and you're trying to take him out and it's not happening. So I would definitely try it. I mean, it's a good team. You can try him in Territory Wars. I personally like Chopper with Resistance Trooper and just run one tank. Seems to work okay. There's a lot of options with that team.
Hey, we got a new sponsor. Guess who it is?
I know.
Thane Kyrell. Well, the worm has turned for you, my friend. Thank you, Thane. Very, very much appreciated, my good friend. He's been a long time viewer of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Glad
and I have to tell you right
aboard.
now, even if you have the red or the green text when you're typing in the YouTube chat, if you try to troll Tits McVenom, she's not going to take it lightly. So.
No, she'll get you. I mean, I know. Ooh.
All right. I think we're coming down to the last couple questions here.
Yeah, let's finish it up and wrap it up for lunchtime so we can all get back to our lunchy time activities. For Loki, that's morning time activities still. He's getting a sausage McMuffin with cheese from McDonald's right now or something.
So Jay Swizzy Swole asks, do you think these current meta ships are going to be good for a while, or do you see the balance shifting? Also, do you think a Holdo capital ship will be better than Thrawn?
Well, we assume that we're going to get a Holdo capital ship. We don't know that yet. And then if the meta shift, the meta could shift. It depends if new characters that are introduced in. You know, one character, we've seen it with CLS, Rey can shift the meta, right? I don't know if we're going to get anything character like that. However, we'll have to wait and see, because there's going to be an influx of new characters coming in. I'm assuming Darkseid, maybe there's some reworks. You never know. You know, changing a character or adding characters kind of changes dynamics. And anytime you change dynamics, sometimes it doesn't affect the status quo, and sometimes it completely throws it on its head. So that's kind of, that's the best you can kind of hope for. Just be flexible. Just, it is what it is.
And if you've played this game from the beginning, you'll have an idea about what I'm talking about. When the game first came out, there was only so many characters that were really viable in Arena. And then every time there was a new release, that character was almost instantly viable and changed the meta. And so the meta in Arena was changing basically every 2 months, roughly. Yeah. So the strategy that you play now with Arena is a lot different than what you did with Arena like months ago.
Right.
Because the meta recently has been relatively stable. You have CLS, who's still viable. You have Kenobi Barris, which is still viable. You added Jedi Rey, who becomes viable but doesn't replace the other ones. I think the only major change was Night Sisters lately. So the meta has been relatively stable. And if you're not familiar, there's always a concept in games of power creeping. And power creeping is essentially that every time you release something new, you make it a little bit stronger than what was previously released in order to make people want to get it. And then the next time it becomes a little bit stronger, and then a little bit stronger. And it gets to the point where you become really overpowered with what you're releasing, and it kind of ruins the rest of the content. And the devs have come out and said they're trying to be cautious about power creeping. Commander Luke may be like the strongest character we get at this point, because he did contribute a lot to a major shift in the meta. So you always have to worry about power creep. But ships, you're essentially on the ground floor. So it's almost like Arena was back when you first started the game. You only have so many ships. You know they're going to release more ships. So as you progress, chances are the meta will keep on shifting. Eventually, it'll get to the point where there will be like one team that just kind of dominates. Not because you don't have as many selections as you do now. Like certain ships, Bigs, TIE Fighter Pilot, First Order TIE Pilot, TIE Reaper. At the high end, you'll see those in your meta for ships. And that's just because there aren't a lot of ships. You'll get a similar stability in ship meta once you get to a point where there's too much power creep. But until then, the meta should be shifting. It's a good sign for the game that there is a shift. It's not stagnant. And so, yes, expect that it is going to change.
Word.
And I think that pretty much covers it. I saw one question from, and maybe I'm probably going to say it wrong, but it's Tony Bobe, Bobe, Bobe. But Tony is the first one, and asks, "Did you guys see the Han Solo trailer?"
Yes.
And the answer is yes. We talked about it at the beginning, we did respond to your question. It's just earlier in the hour, and we're coming to the end of the lunch hour here.
Yep. So I think we can call this one wrapped up, Finn, right? No more questions. All right. So, guys, if you like what you see, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Thank you to this couple people that subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, of course, there's many ways you can give us a thumbs up. You can subscribe, which helps get the latest content. You know, as long as you hit that little bell. You can become a sponsor. There's the super chat function. There's also support our channel, which is at the beginning of the YouTube homepage. We also have, guys, remember, we have all this stuff being put out on podcast form, so you can go to iTunes and other locations and you can get this that you can just listen to when you get a chance. It doesn't have to necessarily be YouTube. We also have the new store that's out, so we've got the merchandising that's going on there. So we're going to try to keep doing these more often as much as we can. So we'll do these little lunch streams for you guys as much as we can. So make sure you spread the word, help us keep the channel growing. That's what it's all about. Anything that I missed, Finn, that I need that you want to say or add?
No, the only thing I want to do is from now on, when we sign off, we say to one of our longest viewers since we've started, "Good morning, Bimasu."
Oh, yeah, so good morning, Bimasu. You missed it. That's because it's like 4 a.m.
He's just rolling out of bed right now, man. It's 7 a.m.
We will end this. We should end this lunch hour every day by saying good morning to Bimasu.
Yeah, good morning, Bimasu. It's like when Nuken's on. It's like happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good morning, Bimatsu. So all right, everybody have a great day. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.